Captain Sarah Chen stood at the helm of the EDS Nightingale, Earth's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. The ship's quantum sensors had picked up something unprecedented, a wave of telepathic distress signals emanating from a previously unknown sector of space. "Dr. Patel, what are we looking at?" Chen asked her chief xenobiologist, watching as streams of iridescent energy danced across the main view screen. "It's like nothing we've ever seen, Captain," Patel replied, her dark eyes wide with wonder. "These signals, they're not just communications. They're thoughts, emotions, memories, all woven together in crystalline patterns." The Nightingale had been mapping the outer reaches of known space when they first detected the signals. 3 days of careful approach had brought them to the edge of a star system bathed in the light of 2 azure suns. And there, floating in the void, they found them, the Harmonists. They were beautiful and alien beyond imagination, crystalline beings of pure thought and energy, their bodies resembling delicate geometric formations that pulsed with inner light. Their cities were vast networks of interconnected crystal lattices, each structure a living, thinking part of their collective consciousness. And they were under attack. Multiple hostile vessels detected. Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from Tactical, his voice tight. "They're using some kind of energy-draining weapons. The crystalline structures, they're shattering." Chen watched as dark ships, their hulls covered in light-absorbing materials, systematically targeted the Harmonist structures. Each blast seemed to drain the light from the crystals, leaving them dull and lifeless. "The Harmonists," Patel said softly, "they're not just dying. They're being silenced. Each crystal that goes dark is like a library burning, a mind being erased." Chen felt her jaw tighten. Humanity had spent centuries wondering if they'd be seen as monsters by the galactic community. Their evolution on Earth, a high-gravity death world, had given them advantages that could be terrifying. Dense muscle mass, rapid reflexes, and an aggressive survival instinct that had helped them conquer their harsh homeworld. But watching these raiders methodically destroy a peaceful species, Chen understood something fundamental about humanity's place in the cosmos. They weren't monsters. They were protectors. "All hands, battle stations," Chen ordered, her voice calm but carrying an edge of steel. "Dr. Patel, establish contact with the Harmonists. Let them know help has arrived. Rodriguez, power up the quantum shields and prepare all defensive systems." The Nightingale's crew moved with practiced efficiency, their training combining with their naturally quick reflexes. They were about to demonstrate why evolution on a death world had its advantages. "Captain," Patel called out, "I'm receiving a direct telepathic transmission from the Harmonists. They're showing me their history. Their civilization is built on pure knowledge and artistic expression. They've never developed weapons. They never needed them until now." Chen finished. "Well, today they have us." She opened a ship-wide channel. "All personnel, this is your captain speaking. What we do in the next few minutes will define humanity's role in the galaxy. We are stronger than most species because our world demanded it. Today, we use that strength to protect those who cannot protect themselves." The Nightingale's engines flared to life, its quantum shields shimming with energy as it moved to intercept the raiders. The dark ships, apparently surprised by the newcomer, turned their weapons toward the Earth vessel. "They're trying to drain our shields," Rodriguez reported, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. "But our quantum matrix is adapting. Their weapons are only effective against crystalline structures." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Show them why you don't pick on the helpless when there's a death worlder around. All weapons target their propulsion systems. Disable, don't destroy. I want prisoners to question." The Nightingale moved with devastating efficiency, its human crew's quick reactions allowing them to outmaneuver the larger raider vessels. Precision strikes from their quantum cannons systematically disabled the hostile ships, while their shields held firm against the raiders' specialized weapons. Through it all, the Harmonists watched, their crystalline forms pulsing with what Paddle translated as amazement and hope. They had never seen combat before, never witnessed beings using strength to protect rather than destroy. When the last raider ship had been disabled, Chen ordered rescue teams to secure the survivors and medical teams to assist any damaged Harmonious structures. As she watched her crew work, she received another telepathic message through Patel. "Captain," the xenobiologist said, her voice filled with emotion, "the Harmonists want you to know something. They say that in all their vast knowledge, in all their centuries of existence, they never understood why any species would evolve to be strong. Now they know. Strength isn't just for survival, it's for ensuring others can survive too." Chen looked out at the crystalline cities, now safe under the Nightingale's protection. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as monsters, but as guardians. The death world that had forged them hadn't created killers, it had created protectors. And this was just the beginning. 3 weeks after the first encounter, the EDS Nightingale had become the center of an unprecedented collaboration. The ship's main laboratory, originally designed for deep space research, now housed both human scientists and Harmonist consciousness projections, working together to understand each other's capabilities. "The integration is remarkable," Dr. Paddle explained to Captain Chen, gesturing to where crystalline formations grew alongside quantum computing arrays. "Their crystal matrices can amplify our sensor capabilities by orders of magnitude, and our quantum shields. The Harmonists are helping us modify them to protect against consciousness-affecting weapons." Chen watched as Lieutenant Rodriguez worked with a Harmonist consciousness projection, their combined efforts creating defense systems that neither species could have developed alone. The Raiders' attack had triggered something unexpected, innovation born of cooperation. "They've been scanning the captured Raider ships," Rodriguez reported, his eyes never leaving the holographic display. "Captain, you need to see this." The scans revealed something troubling. The Raiders' ships weren't just weapons platforms. They were survival systems. Their crews lived in environments that would kill most species, requiring constant energy absorption just to maintain basic life functions. "They're dying." A Harmonist consciousness projected into their minds through the crystal interface. "Their home systems are failing. They attack us because they need our energy to survive." Chen felt a complex mix of emotions: sympathy for a desperate species, anger at their methods, and determination to find a better solution. Can we help them without sacrificing others? The question sparked an intense collaboration. Human engineers worked with Harmonist energy specialists, combining Earth's practical technology with the aliens' deep understanding of consciousness and energy. Together, they began developing what they called the Guardian Protocol, a comprehensive system for both defense and potential rehabilitation. The quantum shields now incorporate Harmonist crystal matrices, Rodriguez demonstrated, as energy patterns danced across the ship's hull. They don't just block attacks, they can redirect and store the energy. "We might be able to help the Raiders without letting them harm anyone else." But before they could implement their plans, the long-range sensors, now enhanced by Harmonist crystals, detected something massive approaching. A fleet of Raider ships, larger than anything they'd seen before, was heading toward populated systems. "They're desperate," the Harmonist consciousness projected. "Our sensors can feel their pain, their fear. They believe they have no choice but to take what they need by force." Chen stood at her command station, watching the tactical display. The Nightingale's crew had grown stronger through their cooperation with the Harmonists. Human strength and reflexes, combined with crystalline technology and consciousness sharing, had created something entirely new. "Send word to Earth Command," she ordered. "Tell them we need every ship we can get, and send a message to the Raiders too, in every format we can transmit. Tell them we know why they're attacking. Tell them we want to help, but we won't let them harm innocent species to save themselves." As the crew prepared for what could become the largest space battle in human history, Chen reflected on how far they'd come. Humans had evolved on a death world, becoming strong enough to survive almost anywhere. The Harmonists had evolved to understand consciousness itself, becoming living repositories of knowledge and wisdom. Apart, each species had limitations. Together, they were becoming something more. All stations, report status. Chen commanded, her voice carrying the weight of responsibility and hope. The responses came back quickly, human and Harmonist working in perfect synchronization. Weapon systems integrated with crystal matrices ready. Consciousness shields at full power. Medical bay prepared for all species. Guardian protocol systems online. As the Raider fleet approached, Chen made a decision that would shape the future of interstellar relations. "We're not just fighting to stop them," she announced to her crew. "We're fighting to save everyone, including them. That's what real strength is for." The Nightingale's engines hummed with power, its hybrid systems ready for the challenge ahead. Humanity was about to prove that being strong enough to fight didn't mean you couldn't also be strong enough to heal. The battle erupted in a dazzling display of energy and light. The Raider fleet, nearly 100 ships strong, emerged from hyperspace in attack formation. But they found something unexpected waiting for them. Not just the Nightingale, but a combined force of Earth's most advanced vessels and Harmonist crystal ships. "Multiple signals incoming," Rodriguez announced, his fingers dancing across the tactical controls. "Sir, other species, they're joining us." Chen watched in amazement as new ships appeared. Vessels of designs they'd never seen before dropped out of various forms of faster-than-light travel. A Harmonist consciousness network quickly identified them. The Solari, beings of pure light who had been hiding from the Raiders. The Terraform Collective, organic technology specialists who had lost colonies to the Raiders' energy-draining attacks. And others, all drawn by the news that someone was finally standing up to their tormentors. "They've been watching," Dr. Paddle explained, interpreting the Harmonist communications. When word spread that humans were protecting the Harmonists, it gave them hope. "They want to help." The Raider fleet hesitated, clearly surprised by the size of the opposition. Chen took advantage of the moment, broadcasting on all frequencies and through the Harmonist Consciousness Network. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Ship Nightingale. We know why you're attacking. We know your worlds are dying. But we can help you without requiring the sacrifice of innocent lives. Stand down and let us prove it." For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, incredibly, 3 Raider ships broke formation, moving slowly toward the combined fleet with their weapons powered down. But the others attacked. The battle that followed demonstrated why humanity's Deathworld evolution, combined with alien cooperation, was such a powerful force. Earth ships, their crews' quick reflexes allowing them to perform maneuvers other species found impossible, protected the more vulnerable allies. Harmonist crystal technology amplified their shields and sensors. The Solari provided targeting data through their light-based consciousness. The Terraform Collective's organic ships could heal damage in real time. Guardian protocol holding steady, Rodriguez reported as the Nightingale wove through the chaos. Energy absorption at 60% capacity. "Sir, we could power a small colony with what we've collected." That was the key. Every shot the Raiders fired, every attempt to drain energy, was being collected and stored by the modified shields. They weren't just defending. They were gathering the very resource the Raiders so desperately needed. In the midst of the battle, Shen received a priority transmission from one of the Raider ships that had surrendered. The alien captain's image showed a crystalline being, but darker, more angular than the Harmonists. Their voice was filled with a mixture of desperation and hope. "Our scientists have analyzed what your shields are doing," the Raider captain said. You've found a way to store and transfer the energy without destroying the source. Is it true you can help us?" "Yes," Chen replied firmly. "Your people don't have to be destroyers to survive. Join us. Help us show your fleet there's a better way." The battle's tide turned as more Raider ships began to surrender, their crews realizing that survival didn't have to mean destruction. The Harmonist Consciousness Network shared the truth across all frequencies. The Guardian Protocol could save both predator and prey. When the last shots faded, the combined fleet had captured or disabled most of the raider vessels. Only a few had fled, but they carried with them the knowledge that everything had changed. The galaxy was no longer divided into the strong and the weak, the hunters and the hunted. A new force had emerged, one that used strength to unite rather than conquer. "We're receiving requests for alliance from 17 different species," Paddle reported, her voice filled with wonder. "They all want to join what they're calling the Guardian Coalition. They're saying Earth's protection is redefining what it means to be strong in this galaxy." Chen looked out at the scattered debris of battle, at the damaged ships being healed by terraform technology, at the captured raider vessels being retrofitted with Guardian Protocol systems. Humanity had evolved on a death world, yes, but that hadn't just made them strong. It had taught them the importance of helping others survive. 6 months later, the EDS Nightingale led a very different kind of mission. The ship's enhanced sensors swept across a dying world, one of the raiders' home planets. Its crystalline surface was cracked and dim, its energy nearly depleted. But today, that would change. Guardian Protocol Station deployment in progress. Rodriguez reported from his station, now augmented with both Harmonist crystals and Solari light interfaces. The Terraform Collective's organic anchors are securing the foundation. Chen watched through the main viewport as massive structures descended toward the planet's surface. Each station was a marvel of cooperative engineering. Harmonist crystal matrices for energy processing, Terraform biotech for environmental adaptation, Solari light channels for distribution, and human engineering holding it all together. "Energy readings are stabilizing," Dr. Patil announced, her station now a hybrid of multiple alien technologies. "The first crystal beds are already showing signs of regeneration. But, Captain, we're detecting movement on the surface." Thousands of raider civilians were emerging from their underground shelters, their crystalline forms dim and angular from generations of energy deprivation. They stood in crowds, watching as the Guardian Protocol stations began their work. Through the enhanced sensors, the crew could feel their mix of hope and disbelief. They've never seen their world like this, a harmonist consciousness projected through the ship's network. For generations, they believed taking energy from others was their only choice. The operation wasn't without its challenges. Some raider factions still resisted, believing the Guardian Coalition's help was a trick or a form of control. Others struggled to adapt to a cooperative existence after generations of survival through conflict. "Security alert," Rodriguez called out, detecting unauthorized ships approaching the construction zones. Raiders' ships, older models. Chen had expected this. Change never came easily, especially to those who had known only one way of life. "Deploy the defensive screen, but maintain minimal energy signature. Let's show them what the protocol can do." The attacking ships fired their energy-draining weapons, but instead of destroying the construction sites, their attacks were absorbed, redirected, and transformed. The Guardian Protocol stations glowed brighter with each blast, using the aggressive energy to accelerate their regenerative work. "They're helping us," one of the raider commanders transmitted, confusion clear in their voice. "Our weapons are helping heal our world." "That's the point," Chen responded. "Strength doesn't have to destroy. We can take the very thing that made you raiders and use it to save everyone. Your people don't have to choose between survival and morality anymore." Over the next few hours, more raider ships arrived, not to attack, but to watch. The Guardian Protocol stations continued their work, transforming a dying crystalline world into one pulsing with sustainable energy. The Terraform Collective's organic systems ensured the changes would be self-sustaining. Harmonist crystal matrices optimized energy distribution. Solari light channels created networks for sharing resources. And through it all, humanity's contribution wasn't just technological. Their adaptability, their ability to survive and thrive in harsh conditions, showed the raiders a new path. The very traits that had made humans feared as Deathworlders now made them ideal teachers for a species learning to live differently. "We're receiving transmissions from other Raider worlds," Paddle reported. "They're requesting Guardian Protocol stations. More than that, they're offering to help build them. They want to join the Coalition." Chen smiled. The galaxy was changing, not through conquest or submission, but through the simple idea that being strong enough to survive meant being strong enough to help others survive too. The death world that had shaped humanity hadn't just given them physical strength. It had taught them that the harshest environments could produce the deepest compassion. "Begin preparations for the next deployment," she ordered, "and send word to Earth. Tell them we need more ships, more crews. The Coalition is growing faster than anyone expected." As the Nightingale orbited the regenerating world, Chen reflected on how far they'd come. What had started as a simple response to a distress call had evolved into something that was reshaping galactic society. Humans, once feared as potential monsters, had become the bridge between predator and prey, showing both that there was strength in unity. 1 year after the first Guardian Protocol station's activation, Captain Chen stood in the observation dome of Unity Station, the massive headquarters of the Guardian Coalition. The station itself was a testament to what cooperation between species could achieve. Harmonist crystal spires merged with terraform organic architecture. Solari light channels wove through reformed Raider energy matrices, and human engineering held it all together. "Hard to believe this all started with us answering a distress call," Dr. Paddle said, joining her at the viewport. Below them, ships from dozens of species moved in careful patterns, their crews training together in the Coalition's new defense force. "The latest reports from the outer sectors are in," Rodriguez added, approaching with a holographic display. "The last major Raider holdout group has requested negotiations. They've seen their transformed worlds, seen their people thriving under the protocol. They want to join." Chen watched as a training squadron passed by. Human pilots teaching reformed Raiders their defensive maneuvers, while Harmonist consciousness networks provided tactical coordination. The Raiders' natural ability to absorb and redirect energy, once used for destruction, now powered the most effective shield systems in known space. "We're receiving a priority transmission," a young communications officer called out. "The Coalition Council is assembling. They're requesting your presence, Captain." The council chamber was a marvel of integrated architecture. Representatives from every Coalition species gathered in their preferred environments. Harmonists floating in crystal matrices, Solari existing as patterns of light. Terraform delegates merged with living chairs, reformed Raiders in energy-rich chambers, and humans comfortable in their standard gravity. Captain Chen, the council elder, a luminescent harmonist, projected through the shared consciousness network. "We've come to a decision about the future of the Coalition's leadership." Chen stood at attention, noting how far they'd come from those first tense encounters. The harmonist continued. "When we first met humans, we feared your strength. Your evolution on a high-gravity death world made you physically superior to most species. We worried you would be conquerors. Instead," a reformed Raider representative added, their once sharp crystalline form now smoothed by proper energy balance, "you showed us that true strength lies not in domination, but in protection. You taught us that survival doesn't demand violence. The Coalition needs leadership that understands both strength and compassion." The terraform representative's thoughts merged with the group consciousness. "We are officially designating Earth as the Coalition's primary training ground. All species who wish to join the defense forces will learn from humans how to use their unique abilities to protect others." Chen felt the weight of this responsibility, but also its rightness. Humanity had evolved to survive one of the galaxy's harshest worlds. That same strength now let them help others survive, protect the vulnerable, and show former predators a better path. "There's more," the Solari representative added, their light patterns shifting with excitement. "The Coalition's next major project. We've detected other regions of space with signs of energy-starved civilizations, places where the cycle of predator and prey continues. We want the Nightingale to lead the first diplomatic mission. Chen looked at her crew, human, harmonist, reformed raider, all working together. Earth's gravity had given humans dense muscles and quick reflexes, but their real strength had turned out to be something else entirely. The ability to show others that adaptation didn't have to mean isolation, that survival didn't have to come at the cost of compassion. "We accept," Chen said, speaking for both her crew and humanity. After all, that's what being strong is really about, using your strength to light the way for others. As she returned to the Nightingale, preparation already beginning for their new mission, Chen received one final transmission. It was from a young raider, now a student in the Coalition's defense training program. "We used to think being strong meant taking what we needed to survive. You showed us that real strength is making sure everyone survives together. Thank you for teaching us how to be strong enough to be kind." The Nightingale's engines hummed to life, ready to carry its message of protection and cooperation to new regions of space. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors from a death world, but as guardians who used their strength to protect, teach, and unite. Their harsh evolution hadn't created monsters. It had created protectors, showing the galaxy that the strongest hand could be the one reached out to help. In the end, that was humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy. The proof that being strong enough to survive meant being strong enough to help others survive too. As the Nightingale prepared to jump to its next destination, Chen knew they were carrying more than weapons and shields. They were carrying hope, showing the galaxy that even in the harshest environments, compassion could evolve alongside strength. The stars stretched into streams of light as they jumped to faster-than-light speed, carrying their message to new worlds. Strength without protection is just violence, but strength with compassion can transform a galaxy.